When it comes to celebrating our ministries that reach out to one another, we have to begin with the position of the Associate Minister of Congregational Life. This position was created with this specific focus in mind, to help us as a congregation reach out to one another. Years ago, when we began the search for the settled Associate Minister of Congregational Life, we began to look at where were parts of the ministry that we really wanted to focus on. Where did we really want to add strengths to our ministry? And the areas that came to mind were focusing on our youth and our seniors. Two areas where we felt that there was a need in our congregation of putting specific energy and effort into those ministries. And that is at the heart of what it means to be a minister of congregational life.
Lay visitation is
letting people know that we care and that we're here. And is there anything we can do to help you?
It's a way of reaching out to people who can't make it to church especially, or they're having difficulties in their life right at the moment, and that we can help the ministers in making sure that they know that the church cares about them. And it helps me to stay in touch with people that I'm not seeing anymore in church, so that's what I get out of it, doing it.
Yeah, you, George.
I'll just say that I've been coming to this church since I was 6 years old. I went to Sunday school here. We moved to Barrington when I was 6, and I never left. Well, I understand that, and this is just a neighborly thing to do, what we're doing here.
Women of Faith is a group of women who've been meeting for about 20 years. They first gathered when an associate minister here thought that there was a need after 9/11 to try to figure out ways that affected women in this horrible thing that happened. And they chose the book, I believe the title of the book is even Women of Faith, and it is about 3 women, a woman of Christian tradition, Jewish tradition, Muslim tradition, who all sort of met in a playground where their children played in New York City. And they realized that they really didn't know much about each other, but they were all women of faith. And so they sort of began talking about who they were and what they were. And that was the beginning of this group. And we try to pick books, all different kinds of books. And we discussed all kinds of things. Well, how is your heart today? So we start that around the group, and everyone sort of is able to say something about what's a success, or some wonderful thing that's happened, or even some sad thing that's happened, so that it binds us. We have a connection to each other even before we start talking about the book. It's a support group in a way, as well as a reading group, and it also is a group that helps strengthen at the same time we may be questioning, but strengthening our faith and talking about issues that you don't necessarily talk to people you might, have lunch with.
So youth group at BCC is open to grades 5 through 8. So we currently have about 14 members in that group. They have 1 hour of gathering from 6 to 7 on Monday nights. And in that 1 hour, they will share a meal. We'll have some crafts. We'll play basketball. They've put on a play. They wrote, scripted, directed, performed a play for us. And we'll clean up before we quit. And for the last 10 minutes, we gather into a circle for a simple prayer time. And then right at 7, they're out the door, back to the parking lot, back to their families. And what they've done over the past couple of weeks is they've really built a community, a support network. So they have a common core value system here at church, And then when they run across each other at school, they have a friend at school that they can rely on, someone that they can turn to if they're in trouble, someone that they can fellowship with in and out of church, in and out of school, and they really are building a community. As a minister to our youth, what I would love to see is for them to feel safe at church, for them to feel welcome at church, and for them to have a sense that this is a place that they can always come back to as they grow and mature and go to college and leave our circle. I hope that they still have great memories of their time here with us and that they're willing to come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Women of Faith is a wonderful group, and I'm very thankful for it. So thank you.